My wife is dead set on giving birth at an expensive private hospital. It's not like we can't afford it. I make good money, but I just don't see the point of dropping a fortune on a place. She'll stay in for 3 days. We originally looked into one of the top public hospitals in the city, great doctors, excellent facilities, and even an option to upgrade for a fraction of the cost. But nope, that's not good enough. We have to go all out and spend an insane amount just because she thinks it'll be better. At first, I figured she just wanted a more comfortable experience. Fair enough, childbirth is no joke. But then she started making comments show this private hospital was where the right kind of people delivered their babies. How the luxury suite came with a personal chef. How the VIP wing was where celebrities went. I started to feel uneasy. This wasn't about comfort. This was about appearances. It got worse when she told me she wanted a scheduled C-section, even though there's no medical reason for it. Natural birth is messy, and I don't want to be screaming in front of strangers, she said. I told her it should be up to the doctor, but she brushed me off, saying, "It's my body, my choice." I tried to compromise. What if we save that money for the baby's future instead? A better daycare? Private school later on? She rolled her eyes. One thing at a time. Besides, my friends will be visiting. You want them to see me in some basic hospital room? That hit me. She wasn't thinking about our child. She was thinking about her social circle. But here's where things took a turn I never expected. One night, I was going through some paperwork when I noticed an unfamiliar bank statement in our mail. It was in her name, a separate account. I don't usually check her finance as she has her own job, her own savings, but something about this stood out. I opened it, and my stomach dropped. Huge deposits, regular, consistent ones, all coming from a single source. I Googled the sender's name. Her ex. I felt physically sick. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but what other explanation was there? Why would her ex be sending her thousands of dollars a month? I didn't confront her right away. I needed more information, so I started paying closer attention. Noticed how she was suddenly making expensive purchases she'd never mentioned to me. Noticed how she kept her phone screen tilted away when she texted. Noticed how she suddenly had meetups with friends that she never used to see that often. Then, one evening while she was in the shower, I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her phone. I found the messages instantly. They weren't even hidden, just tucked away under a harmless contact name. It was exactly what I feared. Not only was she still in touch with her ex, but she had been lying to me for years. He wasn't just sending her money. He was supporting her, paying for luxuries I had no idea about. And the kicker? She had been planning to leave me once the baby was born. The fancy hospital wasn't just for comfort, it was for show. She wanted to look like the perfect, elegant wife with the perfect life right up until she walked away with our children, a fat financial cushion from both me and her ex. I sat there, numb, staring at the screen while the shower kept running in the background. Everything I had built with her, everything I had trusted, had been a lie. She came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel, humming to herself like nothing was wrong. She saw my face and froze. "What's wrong?" I held up her phone. "Why is your ex sending you thousands of dollars?" Her face drained of color, and for the first time since I met her, she had nothing to say. I don't remember much of what I said next. I know I yelled. I know she cried. I know she tried to turn it around on me, how I violated her privacy, how I was making a big deal out of just an old friend helping her out. But there was no coming back from this. I left that night, packed a bag, drove to my brother's place, and didn't look back. She tried to reach out, of course. Called, texted, begged me to talk. Said I was overreacting, that she never actually planned to leave me, that she was just keeping her options open. That was enough for me. I got a lawyer. She had our baby in that fancy private hospital without me there. And when the time came, I fought for custody. I don't know what hurts more, that I loved someone who never truly loved me back, or that my child will grow up with a mother who saw him as a bargaining chip. But I do know this: I'll never let history repeat itself. Not for my son. Not for me.
My husband has always been practical when it comes to gift giving. Romantic? Not so much. Sweet? Occasionally. But thoughtful? That depends on your definition. For our first anniversary, he bought me a set of high-quality kitchen knives because, in his words, you always complain about the dull ones. For Christmas last year, a gym membership. I never once mentioned wanting one. Valentine's Day, a set of non-stick pots and pans. I'm not saying I expected diamonds or grand gestures, but come on. So when my birthday rolled around this year, I braced myself. Maybe another appliance? A book on healthy meal planning disguised as a loving suggestion? He handed me a beautifully wrapped box, and for a second I thought, maybe this time he finally gets it. I tore off the wrapping, lifted the lid, and pulled out a neatly folded gift certificate for laser stretch mark removal. Let me clarify something. I have never once complained about my stretch marks, never mentioned them, never even thought much about them. They were just there, like freckles or childhood scars. They didn't bother me. But apparently, they bothered him. My stomach twisted as I read the little note he attached. I know you always want to look your best, so I figured you'd love this. Happy birthday, babe. Love this? Love this? I swallowed my anger and plastered on a tight smile. Wow, thanks. He beamed. I knew you'd like it. I mean, you're always talking about skincare and stuff. I wasn't, ever. But clearly he had been thinking about my skin. At that moment, something clicked. Was this how he saw me? As something that needed fixing? I decided to test him. A few days later, while we were getting dressed, I casually said, I think I want to get bangs. He didn't even look up. Nah, you wouldn't pull that off. Huh. Another time, I grabbed my favorite sweater, the one that's a little oversized and comfy. The second I put it on, he smirked. Going for the homeless chic look today? I stared at him. Since when did he care what I wore? Then, one night, while we were watching television, I casually said, I love curly hair. It always looks so fun and effortless. His immediate response, you'd look ridiculous with curly hair. And that's when I realized, this wasn't a one-time thing. It was all the time. And somehow I'd let it slide for years. I confronted him. So, is there anything about me that you do like? I asked one night. He looked confused. What? Because apparently my stretch marks are a problem. My sweaters are a problem. My dimples are lack of fair a problem. My hair would be a problem. So tell me, what isn't a problem? His face twisted. Oh, come on. You're overreacting. Number, I'm finally reacting. And then he laughed. Like I had just told the best joke in the world. You're being crazy, he said, shaking his head. I compliment you all the time. Oh, really? When was the last time? Silence. I let that sit between us for a few seconds before I picked up the gift certificate, holding it up between us. You think this is a compliment? He sighed, rubbing his temples. I just thought you'd want it. But I didn't, and you didn't care to ask. His expression hardened. So what? You're saying I'm a bad husband for wanting you to look your best. And there it was. It wasn't about me. It was about him, his image, his idea of what I should be. Something inside me shattered. The next day, I did something impulsive. I took his credit card and booked a spa day, but not for laser treatments. No, I went all out. The most expensive massage, a facial, a full body wrap, a mani-pedi, the works. When he checked the bank statement later, his eyes nearly bugged out. What the hell is this? I shrugged, completely calm. Oh, I just figured you'd want me to treat myself since you're so invested in my self-care. He turned red. That's not what I meant, and you know it. But I thought you just wanted me to look my best. Silence. Because he knew he had been caught. That night, I made my decision. I packed a bag. When he saw me stuffing clothes into a suitcase, his face fell. Wait, what are you doing? I looked him dead in the eye, leaving. His mouth opened, closed, opened again. Over a gift certificate? No, I said, zipping up the bag. Over years of you making me feel like I'll never be good enough. The color drained from his face. He tried to argue, to backpedal, but it was too late. I had already made up my mind. And just like that, I walked out. It took me 2 months to fully realize just how much I had let slide over the years. The subtle jabs, the suggestions, the so-called helpful criticism that chipped away at my confidence piece by piece. And once I saw it all for what it was, there was no going back. Did he try to apologize? Sure, but I didn't listen. Because here's the truth: if someone loves you, they won't make you feel like you need to be fixed. And if someone only loves you under the condition that you change, they never really loved you to begin with.